Mallory Parker, Mallory Parker.
May I inquire, sir?
You may.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Parker, how old are you?
27.
Are you working now?
Yes,
What do you do?
I'm a customer service representative.
How long have you been doing that type of work?
In this particular job, it's been about a year and a half now.
Do you know Caylee Anthony?
I do.
How do you know Caylee Anthony?
I'm engaged to Lee Anthony,
Okay, and who is Lee Anthony?
Casey's brother.
All right. When did you first meet Lee Anthony?
Late in 2006,
And have you two been together since 2006?
pretty much, yeah.
Was there a time when you were not?
Yes.
When was that?
It was a brief period early in 2007.
All right. In June and July of 2008, were you and Lee a couple?
Yes.
How would you describe your relationship during this time period of June and July of 2008 with Caylee Anthony?
I mean, we chatted every now and then. We weren't extremely close, but we kept in touch and checked in on each other.
Do you have any issues or problems or arguments with Ms. Anthony during this time period?
Myself?
Yes.
No.
How is your relationship with Cindy Anthony?
Good.
Okay. Or how were you? Are you close to her?
Yes.
Were you close to her back in 2008?
Not as close as I am now, but we had a good relationship.
How about George Anthony?
Pretty much the same.
Okay. You knew Caylee Anthony.
Yes.
Prior to June of, or strike that. Were you aware, directing your attention to June of 2008, were you made aware that, or did you notice that Caylee Anthony was not at the house?
Not in June, no.
Okay. How about in July?
Yes.
When in July?
Early July.
How did you become aware of that?
Lee had received a phone call from his mom stating that she...
Sustained.
Did you talk to Cindy Anthony about this?
No.
Upon talking to Lee Anthony, did you make any attempt to try to contact Caylee Anthony?
Yes.
How did you do that?
Text message.
You had her phone number?
Yes.
When did you text message Caylee Anthony?
It was a day or two before the July 4th weekend.
What do you recall asking or writing to Caylee Anthony?
I was asking if she was in downtown Orlando.
Was this during the day or night?
Night.
Directing your attention to July 3rd of 2008, did you make any further attempts to contact or find Caylee Anthony?
I don't recall if that was the actual date that we were downtown, but the night that we were downtown, yes, I did make further attempts.
Okay. Who did you go downtown with?
With Lee and another friend of ours.
Okay. Who's that other friend?
His name is Danny Alvarez.
Where did you go downtown?
We went to a club I believe it was on Church Street.
All right. For members of the jury, can you describe what Church Street was back in 2008?
Church Street it's a street downtown that has clubs and bars and restaurants along both sides for a good couple of blocks. So it's a pretty popular place to go when you want to go out and go to a bar or something like that.
When you and Lee and Mr. Alvarez went downtown, did you have reason to believe that Caylee Anthony was downtown?
Yes.
Okay. Based upon what?
Lee had received information from friends or family.
Did you know of a specific club?
There was a specific club that we believed that she was at. I do not recall the name.
Okay. Did you go to that specific club?
Yes.
About what time did you arrive downtown?
If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 10 o'clock.
All right. And when you went to that club, did you see the defendant?
I'm sorry?
Did you see Caylee Anthony when you went downtown?
No.
During this time period, did you again try to contact her via telephone?
Just via text message.
All right. How many times do you believe you text?
I would say probably 5, maybe 6.
Okay. Did she respond to those text messages?
Some of them.
Okay. When she responded to well, first of all, what were you asking her or telling her in those text messages?
I was asking if she was downtown, just to see if we could meet up.
Okay. Did she respond that she was downtown?
No, she never stated that she was downtown.
Okay. What did she respond?
I don't remember the specifics. I do know that she did ask if I was with Lee, and then she did, through further conversation, she was basically telling me that she didn't want the family to worry about her. She just wanted some space.
Did she mention anything about Caylee?
Not directly. I asked her if she would be coming to the house over the weekend for like a family get together, and if she'd be bringing the baby, and she said she would try.
She would try? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes, I'm sorry.
How would you describe your brother's demeanor during this time period while you guys were on Church Street?
I'm sorry, my brothers?
I'm sorry, Lee Anthony's.
He seemed very focused, but also very frustrated and concerned.
While you were texting or attempting to text Caylee Anthony, was Lee also trying to get a hold of her as well?
Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, did they actually have a conversation during the night?
Yes, sir.
After exchanging these text messages, did you attempt to call?
I don't believe so.
How long did you stay downtown?
A couple hours, a few hours.
Did you stay in one place or did you go to different places?
We mostly stayed in one place. I believe we may have checked one other place before we left, but we pretty much stayed on Church Street.
Did you ever locate Caylee Anthony?
No.
After exchanging those text messages on July 3rd, did you ever exchange any other text messages with her between that date and July 16th?
I don't believe so.
Did you ever speak with her again did you ever speak with her on the phone between those dates?
I don't believe so.
During this time period, did you spend any time with Cindy Anthony?
I don't recall.
How about George Anthony?
I don't recall.
Would you be able to tell the jury anything about their state of mind or demeanor
During
July of 2008?
Speculation. And it will.
If
Just a second. Sustain.
Okay, may I have 1 second, Judge?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination.
Good morning.
Good
Ms.
morning.
Parker. You were aware that you went looking for Caylee because Cindy Anthony was requesting this, correct?
Mr. Baez.
Without telling us what was said to you. Right.
Sustain.
Yes, I'm looking for the right words, Judge. Now, you testified under direct that the reason you went downtown is because Lee wanted to go there, correct?
Correct.
And you went there at Lee's urging.
Correct.
And it was also your understanding that the reason both of you were going there was at Cindy's urging, correct?
Correct.
And not George Anthony.
Correct.
Now, you had an opportunity to view Casey and Caylee together, did you not?
I did.
And did you ever see Caylee running to Casey?
I'm sorry, did I ever see what?
Caylee going up to Casey?
All the time.
And did you ever see Kaylee's affection towards Casey?
All the time.
And how would you describe to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury of the way Caylee loved her mother?
It was amazing. Excuse me. Casey and Caylee had a very special bond.
And did it appear genuine to you, Mallory?
It did.
And did Caylee ever go without food, as far as you know?
No.
Did she ever appear neglected to you?
No.
Did you ever see Casey strike or torture or punish Caylee in any harmful way?
No, sir.
And the best way that you can describe their relationship would be amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Ready to write? No, sir. May the witness be excused. Sir. Thank you, ma'am. You may be excused.
William Waters, WLIAMWATERS.
May I inquire, sir?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, sir.
Hi.
Mr. Waters, how old are you?
32.
Are you working?
No, sir. Unemployed right now.
Okay. What type of work have you done?
Engineering. I was doing the speed rail project, light rail.
What about your educational background?
Didn't graduate.
Are you still living here in the Central Florida area?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you know a woman by the name of Caylee Anthony?
Yes, sir.
When did you first meet Caylee Anthony?
I met Casey on the 4th of July, 2008.
Where did you first meet her?
I met her at my home. I was having a 4th of July party.
Do you know Amy Huizinga?
Yes, sir. I was working with her at Houlihan's restaurant.
So did you meet Caylee Anthony through Amy
Yes, sir.
Huizinga?
Yeah, they were decorating my house when I got off work that evening.
All right. If you recall, was this a daytime party or a nighttime party or both?
It was a combo. It was kickball during the day, and then after fireworks, drinking and
Repeat your last answer, sir.
it was a daytime, nighttime party. It followed through. Started in the daytime, then ended at night.
Did Ms. Huizinga and the defendant come over to your home at the same time?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall about approximately what time that would have been?
Or any time after lunch is around 1:30.
When you first met the defendant, what was your, can you tell the jury what her demeanor was?
Overruled.
She was polite, said hello, I'm Casey, and just regular conversation started.
Okay. When you first met Caylee Anthony, did she tell you that her daughter was missing?
No, sir.
Overruled.
Did she tell you her daughter had been kidnapped?
No, sir.
or that she was actively looking for her.
No, sir.
Relevance?
Overruled.
At that point, when you met her, did you know she had a child?
Yes, sir.
How did you know that?
I was told by Amy a couple weeks prior, and then on conversation,
Hearsay?
I'll rephrase the question, Judge.
Sustain.
Did the defendant ever tell you she had a child?
yes, sir.
When did she tell you that?
That evening,
Since this is the first time you met, did you have just a get to know you type of conversation with Ms. Anthony?
there wasn't really enough time. Since it was my house, I was kind of doing a lot of running around, making sure everything was not broken and everybody was having a good time.
All right. What do you recall Ms. Anthony doing at your party?
She was taking care of my home while I was outside.
Okay. When you say taking care of the home, what do you mean?
Since I'm good friends with Amy, I let them to know that, just make sure nobody leaves the front door with the laptop or, the people in my home that I don't know, I'm out playing kickball.
Slow down.
So she just pretty much took care of my home, stayed inside the whole day.
Were at the time back in 2008 on July 4th, were you living downtown in Orlando?
Yes, sir, Thornton Park. Downtown Orlando.
Is that near Lake Eola?
Yes, sir, it's about 4 blocks away.
You may.
Sir, let me. Sir, I'm showing, or I've placed in front of you what's been previously marked for identification. I believe it's LH. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, sir, this is the picture I took on the way to Lake Eola.
Sir, the question is, do you recognize the photograph, yes or no?
Yes.
What is that a photograph of?
It's a photograph of Caylee and Amy.
We would object to the witness testifying about a photograph that has not been admitted into evidence.
Overrule as to that question.
I'm sorry, you may finish.
It's a picture of Amy, Huizinga, and Caylee walking to Lake Eola.
Did you take that photograph?
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what both Amy Huizinga, or how Amy Huizinga appeared as well as the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move what's been marked for identification LH into evidence as the state's next in line.
What says the defense?
We would object as to relevance. It's cumulative, and we have additional argument. And prior disclosure.
Approach the side, Bo. Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Again, at this time, the state would move what's been previously marked as LH for identification into evidence as the state's next in line.
It'll be admitted in evidence of objections.
May I publish this now?
You may.
Thank you, Judge. The person in the foreground or up front, is that Amy Huizinga?
Yes, sir.
All right, and behind her is Caylee Anthony?
Yes, sir.
This was taken during the day of July 4th.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir. Mr. Waters, during the course of the July 4th party, did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Anthony about her employment?
At the time, no.
Okay. Later on?
Overrule.
At the time, during the party, did you have the occasion to talk about her child?
She mentioned Caylee.
What did she mention about Caylee?
It was just a short you know I have a daughter? And I replied with a, yes, I do, Amy told me. And then that was left at that.
Did she say anything else about her daughter?
No, sir.
Did you go to the fireworks?
Yes, sir.
Who went to the fireworks?
We had a big group, mainly me, Casey, Amy, and just a bunch of random friends from restaurants in downtown.
While you were at the fireworks, were you near the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Did you continue to talk to her?
No, sir.
How come?
She was on the phone with her boyfriend at the time through basically the whole fireworks.
Based upon the conversation, did you hear the conversation?
Yes, sir.
What were they? What was Ms. Anthony talking about?
It was about Tony moving back to New York. I don't remember too much of it. I know just the baseline of it. It was just about moving to New York, and she didn't want him to. And I was really kind of focused on the fireworks. But
When the fireworks ended, did you see any change in Ms. Anthony's demeanor?
she was a little angry. A little angry.
Did she say anything to you upon hanging up with her boyfriend?
No, sir.
Overruled.
After the fireworks, where did you go?
We went back to my house, and everybody just continued to play games and drink.
What time did the party end?
Around 1:30, 2 o'clock.
After you came back from the party, what was the defendant doing?
Drinking.
Okay. Was she still watching over the house?
Yes, sir.
Did her mood change?
No, sir.
Was she still angry?
No, sir.
Okay. How was her mood when you got back to the party then?
Just,
Relevancy, Mr. George?
Or the defendant's state of mind during this time period and how she was acting is wholly relevant.
Excuse me.
It's not an objection.
carefree.
No, wait.
Oh.
Anything else, Mr. George?
No, sir.
Objection overruled.
What time did the party end?
Around 1:30, 2 o'clock.
At 1:30, 2 o'clock when the party ended, was the defendant still there at your house?
Yes, sir.
When she left, with who did she leave with?
She left with Amy.
When they left your party, did you make any plans to see her again?
I got her phone number because I plan on going to IKEA the following day.
Did you tell the defendant that?
Yes, sir.
When you told her you want to go to IKEA, what was her response?
It was yes, that she would like to go.
Okay. Did you have a set time to meet?
No, sir.
All right, then let's move on to July 5th. On July 5th of 2008, did you see the defendant?
Yes, sir.
About what time did you see her?
Around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Were you expecting her at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning?
No, sir.
Did you recall how she arrived at your place?
In vehicle or
In
demeanor?
a vehicle?
or-
Did she come in a vehicle?
I believe she had Amy's car.
What type of car did Amy have?
It was a blue Toyota Corolla. Red Toyota Corolla.
Did the defendant mention anything to you about why she had Amy's car?
Because there was something wrong with her car.
Was she specific about what was wrong with her car?
No, it was either the alignment or a tune-up.
All right. When she showed up, excuse me, when she showed up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, did you let her into your home?
My roommate did, I believe, because I was just getting out of the shower.
So what did you guys do?
She hung out upstairs. I got ready, and we went out shopping for the day.
All right. When she first came over to your house, how would you describe her demeanor?
Spunky, good attitude.
Was there any indication from her demeanor that anything was wrong?
No, sir.
When you saw her on July 5th, did she tell you that her daughter was missing?
Overruled.
Can you repeat that?
Sure. On July 5th, when you saw her the next day, did she tell you her child was missing?
No, sir.
Did she tell you her child had been kidnapped?
No, sir.
She was looking for her?
No, sir.
Did she ask you for any help in trying to find her?
No, sir.
Where did you go from your home?
From my home, we went to Target.
Who drove?
I did.
In your car?
Yes, sir.
Which Target did you go? Which Target did you go to?
The one on, I believe it's Kirkman, across from IKEA, the Millennium Mall area.
And what did you do at Target?
We got some coffee and some bubble gum. Was pretty much.
Did you purchase, or did the defendant purchase anything else at Target?
No, sir.
From Target, where did you go?
We went to, I believe we went to IKEA.
Did you have you ever heard of a restaurant called Zaxby's?
Yes, sir. That's where we went afterwards.
What is Zaxby's?
Zaxby's is a fast food chicken salad restaurant.
Overruled.
And you had lunch there?
Yes, sir.
Again, was there any change in the defendant's demeanor while you guys were having lunch?
No, sir.
From Zaxby's, where did you go?
Zaxby's, we went back to my house because she had to be at the airport at a certain time.
Well, after Zaxby's, you had mentioned something about IKEA.
IKEA was before Zaxby's.
How long did you spend at IKEA?
A good about 2.5 hours.
Why did you want to go to IKEA?
I needed to go to IKEA because I needed some picture for.
Relevance?
Not
You
at
need to
all.
know why he wanted to go to IKEA.
Sustain.
Did the defendant want to go to IKEA?
Yes.
Okay. Did the defendant tell you what she needed to get at IKEA?
Yes, sir.
Overruled.
You can answer that question.
She was shopping for a bunch of furniture. It was her and a friend were supposed to be getting a house soon. Basically window shopping for that day.
What did she tell you about her living situation?
That her and a friend of hers that has kids were looking for a nanny, a stay-in nanny, so they were going to have their own house together.
Did she tell you this friend's name?
No, sir.
Did she tell you when she was planning on moving?
Within the next 2 months.
And that she needed furniture.
Yes, sir.
During this day, did you and the defendant have any conversations about her employment?
Yes, sir.
Did she tell you where she worked?
Yes, sir.
Where did she tell you she worked?
She was an event coordinator at Universal Studios.
Was she any more specific than that?
No, sir. Other than she just did a lot of work at home over her computer.
Did she mention the name of any coworkers?
No, sir.
Other than being able to do a lot of work from home in this job, did she tell you anything else about her employment?
Just that she loved her job.
That she,
Loved her job.
did she tell you how long she had had that job?
No, sir.
On July 5th of 2008, did the defendant ever mention her daughter, Caylee?
No, sir.
Did you ask any questions about Caylee?
No, sir.
All right, so was July, excuse me, was July 5th a good day for you?
It was a fun day, yes, sir.
Did you make any plans to see the defendant again?
At that time, no.
Okay. At any subsequent time, did you make plans with the defendant?
After a couple days after that,
Okay. What were the plans?
we were supposed to go take a, we were supposed to go out to dinner and take a helicopter ride. So I had some free passes for on I Drive.
Who was going to go on that helicopter ride?
Me and Casey.
Did you ask her to go?
Yes.
Did she agree?
Yes.
Okay. Did that helicopter ride happen?
No, sir.
What happened?
I texted her about 6 times and got no reply. And then I finally said, well, I'm here and I've got to let these people know because they're about to book the ride with somebody else. And she said she was tied up, and then it was left at that.
Did she tell you how she was tied up?
Something about a nana.
A nana?
A nana.
Did you ask or did you know what a...
Go ahead.
Did you ask or did you know what a nana was?
No, sir.
Okay. You said this, do you remember the date of that?
No, sir. I just know it was a Wednesday or a Thursday.
The Wednesday or Thursday after July 5th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would that be July 10th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After those plans canceled, did you have any other communication with the defendant?
A lot of text messaging throughout the days while I'm at work.
Now,
Text messaging.
understood. Did you, strike that. Did you ever see her again after July 5th?
No, sir.
Did you make plans with her to see her and they just didn't happen?
Yes, sir. We were supposed to meet up a couple times while I was at work at lunch, but whatever happened at work, meetings or whatever happened, we never really hung out after that.
She had meetings?
I had meetings.
Oh, you had meetings, okay. Directing your attention to July 12th of 2008, did you have plans to hang out or to see the defendant, Caylee Anthony?
One more time, please.
On July 12th of 2008, did you have plans to see or hang out with Caylee Anthony?
No, sir.
Were you aware that she had a boyfriend?
Yes.
I believe you testified earlier from July 4th. Your subsequent conversations, either on the phone or via text message, was it still under your understanding that she had a boyfriend?
Yes, sir.
Overruled.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you interested in Caylee Anthony?
Not really. I was in a breakup at the time, so really.
Sustain.
Um,
Next question, Mr. George.
Yes. Did you receive a text, I'm sorry, directing your attention to July 15th, did you receive a text message from the defendant?
I got a text message about 1:30 in the morning. Or actually, I got a phone call from an FBI agent.
Did you ever hear from the defendant on July 15th?
I can't recall. That was. No.
In any of those subsequent text messages after July 5th of 2008, up until July 15th, did the defendant ever notice you that her daughter was missing?
No, sir.
Overruled.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, Mr. Waters.
Mr. Baez.
I want to see if I understand. You had just met Caylee Anthony.
Yes, sir.
And as far as you understood, that the world that Caylee Anthony lived in was she had a job.
Yes, sir.
And in this world, she worked as an event planner.
Yes, sir.
And she appeared to really love that job.
Yes, sir.
She talked about it with enthusiasm.
Yes, sir.
And you realize that turned out to not be true, right?
Yes, sir.
Did she give you any indication that she was lying about her job?
No, sir.
Did she give you any indication that she didn't believe she had a job?
No, sir.
And part of this world also included that she was happy
Yes, sir.
and that there was absolutely nothing wrong in her life.
Other than the relationship with Tony, no.
Let's talk about that. That occurred on July 4th,
Yes, sir.
not anywhere near June 16, 2008. Is that a no?
Yes, no, it's a no.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, the world of Caylee Anthony that you knew was that she was going to move in with a friend, and that's Amy Huizinga,
No, sir.
another friend.
Yes, sir.
And they were going to bring their children,
Yes, sir.
and they were going to have a live-in nanny.
Yes, sir. Because it was cheaper that way than having two different nannies take care of different kids.
And she was going to pay for this nanny with this event planner job that she had.
I don't know how she's going to pay for it, but
And they went, and you guys went so far as to go shopping for furniture.
yes, sir.
Did she give you any indication that she was faking shopping for furniture?
No, sir.
In fact, you believed that she was going to get a place to live with a live-in nanny and a roommate.
Yes, sir.
Now, also in this world, you believe that Caylee was well, let me strike that. Let me ask you this. Caylee was friendly to you?
Yes, sir.
She was friendly to others?
Yes, sir.
She appeared to care for people?
Yes, sir.
In fact, she barely knew you and she was watching your place for you?
Yes, sir.
And you trusted her?
I trust a lot of people until you do something that's not right. Yeah, I'll trust anybody.
Did she make off with one of your laptops or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, do you have any information about June 16, 2008, when Caylee drowned?
No, sir.
Do you have any information for this jury as to when Caylee died?
No, sir.
Do you have any information for this jury as to where Caylee died?
No, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Read it right.
Sir, if the statements that the defendant made to you about having a job and buying or getting a house with a live-in nanny were incorrect or lies,
Sir, do not answer the question until you finish asking the question. Finish asking.
based on your observations and the time you spent with the defendant, was she convincing?
Mr. Baez, you have an objection to that question? You can answer.
There was no reason to believe any different, so yes.
Thank you.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You may be
Sir.
excused. State may call in next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state and the defense have entered into a number of stipulations as they relate to various videos from different locations dating from June 30th through July 15th of 2008. May I approach?
You may.
We stipulate as to the authenticity, but not, we still require a foundation be laid.
You require foundation. Yeah, approach the sidebar. Recess, we'll be in recess for 15 minutes to 10:15. Please do not discuss the case among yourselves, and remember all of my previous admonitions.
All rights reserved.
Okay, Mr. Baez.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to clear up that the conversations at sidebar, I didn't have an opportunity to respond to Ms. Drain Burdick. Everything she said was absolutely correct. Her and I have had multiple discussions about this, and she has been diligent in following up with me as it pertained to these stipulations. Our objection is one of relevance and lack of remorse under Randolph v. State. We don't think these are admissible under those aspects, under the law. And if the court is going to rule that this evidence is not reflective of lack of remorse and that they are relevant, those would be our objections and our standing objections, and we would not require anything further. When I give Ms. Drain Burdick my word, it is my word, and I do not intend on revoking that in any way, shape, or form unless she's the first to know.
State any comments other than what you said before?
Only as it relates to lack of remorse and relevance. The videotapes themselves don't demonstrate Ms. Anthony's mood one way or another. They demonstrate her actions, and therefore they are relevant because they are all during the time frame between June 16th and July 15th to show that she was not looking for her daughter, as she informed law enforcement she was, that she was not basically moving heaven and earth to find out where Caylee Anthony was, as she informed law enforcement. And it is our position, as it was with all of the witnesses who testified to her activities, that the video of her activities, with or without a witness, is relevant as well.
I would just add one portion more to my objection, and that would be cumulative. I think we've had for an entire week witnesses testifying about her activities, that she was not searching for her daughter. It's been conceded by the defense, and to continue to go down this area is serving nothing and no purpose other than showing bad character.
As I indicated before, the evidence that the state has introduced at this time does not go to the issue of lack of remorse. It goes to show her demeanor. Some folks would suggest or argue that someone should act differently when they have lost a child to either kidnapping or death. And that is an issue for the jury to decide. There has been no testimony in this court estimation that violates the principles of Randolph dealing with the issue of lack of remorse. Lack of remorse comes in where someone who has murdered someone basically has no regrets or no remorse about doing that. That's not the purpose of this testimony, nor does this testimony reflect that. So the record would be abundantly clear. Anything else, folks? Because you got about 10 more minutes before your recess is over with. I'm looking at Jones versus State. Mr. Mason. And I think the case you and I talking about must be different because this Jones deals with a photo lineup and the issue of a kidnapping charge. It does originate out of this court, and it was Judge Cohen who was the trial judge, and
Judge already citing skip family.
he can't. Okay.
It's my understanding from my brief conversation with Mr. Baez that they are not going to contest that it's Caylee Anthony in the video.
I know that's what he just said, but that wasn't what he said at the bench.
I understand that.
Okay, we'll be in recess. Okay, let the record reflect that the defendant is present along with counsel for the defendant. We'll bring the jury back in, and what did I do with all the stipulations?
I would also add on the objections that we have to the videos. I think there's some where she's purchasing beer and alcohol. I think then becomes a 403 issue to add on to the others that we have. And again, I think that's showing bad character. And I think maybe the court might want to consider that before having them admitted.
Mr. George?
She was over the age of 21. I don't believe there's anything inherently wrong with buying beer.
Okay,
Well, that makes it prejudicial.
so I'll make sure that we're all on the same page. The defense is objecting on the grounds of relevancy, on the grounds that it shows improper character evidence. Any other grounds?
Proper state of mind
Improper state
and lack of remorse.
and lack of remorse. But there is no objection to those being authentic, and that it shows the defendant, Miss Anthony.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's return to jury.